Hey everyone out there, this is Chip Moreno coming to you from Ecuador. A little bit of context, I'm the founder of EcuaPass Ecuador Visa Services, Ecuador visa company based in Cuenca, and today I'm excited to give you a full breakdown of Ecuador's retirement visa. So let's get started. The official name of this visa in the e-visa system is Concesión de Visa de Residencia Temporal Jubilado. That is the name of the retirement visa. Sometimes it's also called the pensioner's visa. The main idea is if you are earning at least 3 times Ecuador's basic salary, which as of 2026 is $482 a month, if you're earning triple that amount in lifetime guaranteed income, like Social Security or a pension that's going to continue for the rest of your life, if you're earning that from abroad, you can use that to qualify for a retirement visa to move to Ecuador. This visa is a 2-year visa, so the way it works is once it's granted, you can come in and out of Ecuador as much as you want during that 2 years. There's no residency requirement to maintain the visa. Where there is a requirement is if you want to stay on the track to permanent residency, you only get 90 days outside of Ecuador once the visa is issued. So if you're outside of Ecuador when the visa is issued, that 90-day clock starts ticking, and those days upon the issuance date count against your 90. And if you exceed 90 days in that 2-year period, you cannot apply for permanent residency. You're eligible to apply for permanent residency once you've held the retirement visa for 21 months. So let's talk about the requirements to get a retirement visa in Ecuador. The main thing you're going to need is at least $14.46 a month in pension income. Most commonly is Social Security income if you're coming from the States, but any retirement income. So you cannot use interest or capital gains or rental income from abroad. The retirement visa in Ecuador is specifically for pension income or lifetime guaranteed income, not for investment income. That would be the rentista visa. So, for example, let's say you were earning Social Security in the United States. You would want to get your Social Security awards letter, and you'd want to get that apostilled. Now, there's a frequent workaround where you can actually get your Social Security awards letter notarized by a state notary, and then have that notarization apostilled in state, because you can run into some problems trying to get that document federally apostilled. But the core thing you need to understand is you need an apostilled letter showing your pension amount, showing your Social Security amount. That's the same process for Canada and Europe as well. The main idea is you need an apostilled letter showing your pension amount of above 1446 USD per month as of 2026. Now the basic salary goes up every year. This year it went up by $12 from 470 to 482. So in the future you'll need more income in 2027 and years beyond than this year's 1446 a month. And also, if you're planning on sponsoring dependents, you'll want at least $250 a month in additional income for each of them. And you'll also want to have, I think it's a good idea to also show one basic salary of income in an account in their name as well, so they're not just relying on your sponsor income. Anyway, went on a bit of a tangent there. You want to show pension income. After that document would be apostilled, for example, if you had Social Security letter and that was apostilled, that needs to be translated by a certified translator to be used for your visa application. I run a translations company, EcuadorTranslations.com. We use translators who are certified by the judiciary here, and then those translations are notarized. There's kind of an ongoing thought that it's better to use translators who are certified in Ecuador for legal translations, but at the same time, I have seen certified translations companies from other countries approved as well. So it's a bit of a vague guideline, but what you need to know is a certified translation needs to be completed and interpret that as you will. If you're coming from the States, you'll need an FBI background check and a state background check, and those are going to be apostilled and translated as well, just like the previous document was. If you're coming from Canada, you would need a federal RCMP check. Really, any country, it needs to be a federal country-wide background check. And for US applicants specifically, they need to get a state background check too. I believe the US is the only country where those 2 background checks are required. Typically, it's just one country-wide background check. You'll need a passport photo. The e-visa system can be very finicky, so if you're doing the application yourself, you'll see your passport photo might be rejected when you upload it. You'll need to modify it a little bit. The size of the file and the dimensions in the file, maybe use an online tool. You'll also need a scan of your passport with 6 months remaining. And you'll need to pay the fees. There's a $50 application fee and a $270 approval fee, and those are half off if you're above 65. The Ecuador retirement visa allows you to come and go from Ecuador once it's approved for 2 years. Right now, as of July 2026, Ecuador is responding to visa applications in about 60 to 95 days. Before, they were responding faster, and now they're responding slower, so this information is liable to change. That's a pretty core requirement of what's required for the retirement visa. You'll also need health insurance, and there was some talk previously that your insurance policy needs to be registered in a database in Ecuador to be valid for the visa. So I run an insurance company here, EcuaInsure.com. I also run my visa company here, EcuaPass.com, where we handle the whole visa process for you. But you'll need a qualifying health insurance policy. There's some verbiage that your policy must be in place for the entirety of your visa. Just make sure you go with a reputable provider that's local to Ecuador, because sometimes a policy abroad might not be registered in the local database, but just know that you do need a health insurance policy to qualify for this visa. That is a pretty good overview of what goes into the retirement visa. Ecuador responds in 60 to 95 days, and how long you take to get those documents can vary from 1 month, and sometimes we see clients take a lot longer depending on their schedule. So it's not too difficult to qualify for the Ecuador retirement visa. Sometimes we have clients where their pension is below 1446, and we look into alternative visa options like the professional visa. But I hope this was a helpful breakdown of the Ecuador retirement visa, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Once again, my name is Chip Moreno. I run EcuaPass.com. We're an Ecuador visa company based in Cuenca. We offer 30-minute consultations. We offer full retainers if you want to hire us to do your visa. I hope to share as much information as I could on this video and that it was helpful to you. And like I said, let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.